So finally, we're ready to enter the characteristics of the plant. There are two ways to do this. First, we can just substitute line by line with the characteristics on the PowerPoint. So I'll show you that first. I'll just select the first characteristic, Control C, return to the bingo generator and replace that first characteristic. So just go in the cell and select what you want to replace, and then Control V to replace it. And then you need to backspace because it automatically enters the return. And then just keep going until you're done, and just make sure that you actually select the entire characteristic, Control C, and keep going. Control V, backspace, Control C, Control V, backspace, and then one more. Control C and Control V. And again, do the backspace. That way, when you press enter, the characteristics will be properly centered. This will make it easier for the bingo caller to read the characteristics. There's another way you can do this, and that is to select all the characteristics at once. Control C. And then select the cell and then enter into the formula bar everything you copied from the PowerPoint. Control V. You see they're all written here. Now, if you do it this way, you again have to remember to put the backspace, otherwise it won't be properly centered. But you're also going to need to add the numbers. It makes it easier for the bingo caller to read the characteristics. So this you'll have to actually do in the cell, not in the formula bar. So you just enter the numbers. And then you press enter, and they're nice and centered. Now, when you are entering the plant characteristics, if your individual characteristic is particularly long, you can just extend the size of your cell so that you have one description per line. If your plant has additional characteristics, then you can just go inside the cell, go to the end of the final line, type Alt, Enter, and then add your additional characteristics. Each time typing Alt, Enter at the end to go to the next line within the same cell. Now, if you type Enter at the end of this, you notice you cannot see the sixth line. And so you need to go back to the cell and change the font. And that is up here next to the bold. That's the font size to the left of the bold. And 7 works well. And then the person can still read it and all of the characteristics show up. Do not change the height of the cell because that will make your image no longer be a square. All right, and then your bingo game won't look right.